Thanks for being here. I'm not fully aware of the whole story with this college basketball tournament, but I want to briefly just show you some connections that I see with these two teams, UConn and St. John's. So they have a game today. Number 6 UConn, number 13 St. John's. Set for round 3. So I guess it's their third time, I'm assuming, playing this season. And this is to decide the Big East tournament. Now, look, this guy they bring up in the article right here. Two of the better teams in college basketball. This is Dylan Darling. This is a quote. Two of the better teams in college basketball. Madison Square Garden on Saturday night. You can't ask for much more. Red Storm guard Dylan Darling says. Now, look what I'm noticing with him. Well, he's born on the first day of the year, January 1st. So, first month, first day. He's got a 1 on his jersey right there. Now, his name is Dylan Darling. When you convert that in reverse with gematria, you get 203. And he's born in 2003. So he's age 23 right now. He's a point guard, right? It looks like he also played for the Idaho State Bengals. There's been some Cincinnati stories over the last week that I covered, and that's not necessarily common. There was the Bengals football player who signed with the Ravens, and I just had the Cincinnati Reds pitcher who was injured. Just trending recently, so now this guy's connected. Well, it's the Bengals, but it's Idaho State, but Bengals connects to Cincinnati, right, with the football team. So, and that's interesting because now he plays for the St. John's Red Storm. So that's amazing because that's like the Cincinnati Reds, okay, with the pitcher who was injured. I forgot his name. If you want to scroll back on my videos, look, it's a few videos ago. So that's interesting. But you get a 23 connection here. You get a 1 connection. I want you to see how his middle name is James. So we know that when you hear James in basketball, you think of LeBron James. And LeBron James is known for that 23, right? And look how LeBron played for St. Vincent St. Mary High School. Look, Dylan James Darling St. John's. You see that right there? Okay. So all this stuff is all like synced together with the language. So if you notice a couple of connections, as I did with LeBron, you can just kind of keep going and it keeps hitting. Do you understand? That's why I'm telling you, you don't have to really know about, you don't have to be intimidated like, oh, it's college basketball. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it either. But I know how to decode it, right? So it just takes practice. You know, I wasn't very confident at first, but the more you do it, you build your confidence because you really truly see how this stuff and these stories are all scripted, okay? So you get that, and they bring this guy up immediately in the article. So what I did was just go down the article and I noticed a couple of the characters they were talking about, and I just briefly looked at them. Even UConn equals 23. That's the opponent for St. John's, and that's today. Look at right there. There's also a number 1 right there on Connecticut. Look at that. That's the opposite team. And again, you get the 1 here with St. John's player who they bring up in the article, Dylan James Darling. Here's another number 1 on Connecticut. Look, there's a 23 next to him in the pick. And then UConn equals 23. I looked a little bit into that number 23 here on Google. UConn Huskies forward Jaden Ross. Look at his birthday, July. That's the 7th month and the 16th day. 7 plus 16 is 23, and then he's got the 23 on his jersey. How about that? You know, and then UConn with the 23. This is the language which kind of covers up the code, which is the numbers. Letters have numerical values, because you see the number match, that would be more obvious, right? There's different ways to convert these letters into numbers. There's 4 basic ciphers, you know, so you get the letters all mixed up. You know, you may not be aware that it's all going to equal the same numerical value, right? So this stuff is this is coded, okay? Connecticut, right? This stuff is all connected. So look at this is the Huskies coach. Huskies H, last name Hurley H. You even get the first 2 letters that are the same. Dan Hurley. Now look at his name in the reverse cipher, 135. If you were to go one higher number, it would be 136. This is a matchup of number 13 St. John's taking on number 6 UConn. So that's 136. So look how close that was. They bring him up in the article. And this says 3rd round. I don't know if it's like 3rd round of some kind of playoff. They say tournament, but again, it's their 3rd matchup they mentioned. So you get 3-3. They also bring up this guy on St. John's, Zuby Ejiofor. So they say the first time that St. John's played Connecticut this season, he had 21 points. Notice how he is 21 years old. Okay? And when I scroll down, you get another 21 connection with the opposing player, Terrace Reed Jr. This is their 2nd matchup. He had 20 points, 11 rebounds against St. John's right here. 20 points, 11 rebounds is like 21. And look, they said he outplayed this other guy right here who connects with the 21 on the other team. So that's game 1. Dude has 21 points, age 21. In game 2, he gets outplayed by this guy, 20 points, 11 rebounds, which is like 21. And I didn't look at the age. Maybe this guy's 21 as well. I'm not 100%. Again, I'm just scrolling down the article, showing you these connections. You see, I mean, right? You know? Even look at, you get these 2 guys here, and even if you look from right to left with their jersey numbers, 211 is like 21. So they got numbers on their jerseys like for a reason. We got numbers associated with us. Man, this is a script playing out right in front of our face. So, you could see potentially some other connections. Dylan Darling, 121, like 21. Again, I'm not familiar whatsoever with these characters, but they have a game. Again, they have a game today. UConn. Let me pull this up. you know. Oh, and look, it's number 2 versus number 1. See? See, look. You see that? Now, this is completely organic, man. Everything I'm doing here is just showing you this code, okay? I look at this, I put it together. Look over to the right there. Is that a female right there? Look, it says, yeah, women's basketball right there that happens to be on this same page. And look, she's got the 21 on her jersey. And we're talking about men's basketball. Look. And that's just the opposite. Women's UConn 21 pops up right here on this page. You see that? Right? And now you get 2 and 1 in the men's matchup. It says today at 3:30. I don't know if you're googling from another state on the East Coast. I don't know if it's a different time. I don't know. It says today 3:30. So that's amazing, isn't it? So, maybe you can expect some 21s. Maybe you can expect some more 21s in that game. I may not be able to follow through with it, but I just want to put it out there, man. You could, any random trending news story, you're going to see it land, okay? And that, again, easy money. I was trying to find the article, but again, it's an Associated Press article, okay? And I don't know, maybe the article won't pop up. But yeah, we'll see, that LeBron connection again, maybe something. I don't know if LeBron came back from his little injuries or not. Lakers equals 21. I forgot. Lakers has the 21. And don't forget Kobe Bryant has the 135 as well with his name. Okay, Kobe Bryant energy with Bam Adebayo passing him second all-time points in a game. Obviously, Kobe and LeBron connected. There's Kobe Bean Bryant with the 135. Obviously connected to basketball. Shout out to Richard West because he mentioned another 135. Was it Michael Air Jordan or Michael Jeffrey? Might have been Michael Jeffrey. Oh, wow, there's Kobe's death date, 126. I think that's how you spell. Sometimes it's got an extra E there. Is it Air Jordan? I'm curious now. Wow, Air equals 26 like Jordan and Bryant. Oh, look, you get 153, which is like 135. Even you get that 45. Jordan came out of retirement wearing 45. Born in 63. 63 right there. 63 points versus the Celtics. And he's age 63 right now. That Celtics game, I think, is the most memorable performance by Michael Air Jordan. But, you could probably have plenty of examples. If you're out there, Richard, I see that 153. Let me know if I missed. What was the 135? I think you mentioned the other day. I couldn't. I tried to figure it out here, and I couldn't. My bad. So amazing. We'll see what happens in this game, and I'll see you next time. Okay.